Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Across the nation, men of the Highway Patrol remain constantly alert to crime, danger, and violence. They know that even in a lonely, isolated service station, tragedy can strike hard and fast. To a sailor and his girl, there was no sign here of impending disaster. Nothing to warn them that in a matter of moments, they would be trapped in a nightmare.
It's a funny way to run a gas station. I wonder where everybody is. Gee, honey, I wish you'd filled the tank like you said you would.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I just didn't have time.
Well, never mind. Hey, anybody here?
Jimmy, please make him hurry.
Scared?
Yes.
Don't be. Where we're going, nobody can find us, not even your father.
I just keep thinking of him when he reads that note.
Let him. What if he does try and find us? By that time, we'll be Mr. and Mrs. James Newman. Hey, that sounds great, you know. Mr. and Mrs. James Newman.
Jimmy, do something to make him hurry.
I'll see if I can find somebody. After all, we can't keep that minister waiting.
Mister, help me, please. I need help. Please.
What?
It's my baby. Please, mister. Will you come inside?
Come on.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I don't know what to do. What's the matter? My baby's dying. He's not breathing. He's choking.
He's choking. Where is he?
In here. I'm all alone. My husband's going to get a doctor. Oh, my baby's dying.
2150 to headquarters.
Headquarters by?
I'm at the intersection of 90 and Highway 41. Cancel APB 411. Hit and run, 1330 this date. Vehicle and suspect in custody. I'll be in a little while. 10-4?
10-4.
You were doing 85, Doctor. You are a doctor, aren't you?
Yes, officer. My shield's on the front of the car.
Yeah, I saw it. What's the hurry?
I have an emergency call, a sick baby.
Where?
Hoffman Service Station, Highway 41.
What's the trouble?
I don't know. Ed Hoffman drove up to my place so excited he could hardly talk. He was too rattled to drive, so I made him stay behind. He says the baby's choking.
I'll get in my car. I'll drive you. Come on. To headquarters.
Headquarters by?
I'm going to the Hoffman Service Station. It's on Highway 41. It's an emergency call for the doctor. I'm taking him there now. 10-4?
10-4.
I think he's going to be all right.
He's breathing. He's alive.
Here's your handkerchief.
Oh, Jimmy, you were wonderful.
It's nothing. It's just stuff they taught us in boot camp. Hey, look at the time. We gotta get married. Lady? Lady?
You saved his life.
Well, I'm only glad we weren't too late. I'm sure he'll be all right now. The doctor should be along soon, and we are on our way to get married. I think we'll be going now.
You saved my baby's life.
I'll fill the gas tank myself and leave the money at the pump.
$21.50 to headquarters.
Headquarters by?
My 1020 is the Hoffman service station on Highway 41. Send 2275 to Dr. Ronald Kincaid's house. You've got the address there. You'll find Mr. Hoffman there. The doctor's here with me now. Now have William stand by. 10-4?
10-4.
Everything all right?
We're in trouble, real trouble, starting right now.
May I offer you both my best wishes and my congratulations?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for everything.
And thank Mrs. Lincoln for being a witness.
My wife enjoys nothing more, I assure you. You're off on a honeymoon now, are you?
We sure are. 10 whole days.
Jimmy's got a 10-day leave.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
So am I. We have a spot waiting for us that's miles from anybody. 10 whole days just by ourselves.
Mrs. Lincoln and I got away by ourselves just last year. We had a delightful week fishing. Well, goodbye, Mr. and Mrs. Newman, and good luck to you.
Hey, you know, that sounds great. Mr. and Mrs. Newman.
Let me have that again, Doc.
Mrs. Hoffman just told me the child was choking, and a young sailor got it to breathing again. To do it, he breathed in the baby's mouth.
Well, go on.
I'm almost sure the child has epidemic meningitis. It's highly contagious. I've just inoculated Mrs. Hoffman.
You say the sailor breathed into the kid's mouth. Where's the sailor now?
Mrs. Hoffman doesn't know. She doesn't even know his name.
Come on, Doc. Take it off for me fast.
Well, the sailor drove up for gas. He saw the trouble, and he got the child breathing again. Then he drove off without even giving his name.
What are his chances?
Unless he receives inoculations within a matter of hours, he has no chance at all. Without inoculation or treatment, he will most certainly die.
Oh, brother, that's great.
I've just telephoned the hospital. They're sending an ambulance for the baby.
Put Williams on fast.
This is Williams.
My 1020 is the Hoffman service station. Highway 41. Get out here fast. 10-4?
On my way. 10-4.
Doc, we got to find that sailor.
But Mrs. Hoffman has no idea.
Well, if we do find him, have you got the medicine, the inoculation?
Yes. And I want you to be inoculated, too, with meningitis. There's no such thing as being too careful.
How's the mother? Can I talk to her?
Well, she's in pretty good shape. But you haven't much time. The ambulance will be here in a few minutes.
Look, I've got to talk to her. She's the only one who can help us find the sailor. Oh, Mrs. Hoffman. Oh, Mrs. Hoffman, can I talk to you for a minute, please? I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol.
Yes, I suppose so. I don't want to leave my baby too long.
I can understand that, but do you realize how important it is to us to find the sailor to help save your baby's life?
Oh, yes, Mr. Matthews. I was frantic and beside myself. I didn't know what to do. I'm afraid I was losing my head.
When he came in here, he got some gasoline for the car.
Yes, sir.
Did he pay cash or use a credit card?
Oh, cash. When I finally got hold of myself and knew my baby was going to be all right, I ran outside to ask his name or something. But he and the pretty young lady had left. He did leave some money by the gas pump, though. Oh, I feel so badly. After what he did and all, I never got a chance to thank him properly.
Well, as you know, this is the doctor. He says your baby's going to be okay, so you got nothing to worry about. But do you realize how important it is for us to find the sailor and his girlfriend?
Yes, sir.
Golly, it sure is miles from anything.
I told you, 1,000,000 miles from nowhere. You think your father can find us here?
Oh, Jimmy, I wish we didn't have to run away. If Dad only knew you better, I'm sure he'd understand.
Oh, he'll be okay, honey. Heck, with your mother dead and everything, he just gets panicky at the idea of being alone. Come on, let's go inside. Wait a minute. This has to be done right. Happy?
Terribly.
Me too. I've never been so happy in my whole life. Well, honey, here we are.
Hi, anything new?
Mother and baby are on their way to the hospital. What about the bulletins?
I filed the first one at 1440. Notified the newspapers, radio and TV stations in the area. I gave them all we've got. An unidentified sailor and a girl, the descriptions.
That's good.
Well, I filed a supplementary on the APB. Anybody who's been near this gas station needs an inoculation. Kincaid's standing by at the hospital. He's got plenty of supplies. You gonna stay here?
Well, for now, yeah. But look, the mother's not sure. She thought she heard the sailor say they were off to get married.
Today?
Yeah, but she doesn't know what direction they're headed in. Well, the way I figure, if he left here at 1400, traveled at 40 miles an hour, he's got to be within a 60-mile radius.
From here?
Yeah. Look, cover every judge, jury, justice of the peace, city hall, everything. Find out if the sailor and his girl got married after 1400 today. Because if we don't find these kids, they're going to die, and you know that.
Yeah, I'll keep in touch.
Right.
Hey, Mrs. Newman, look. I'm a civilian.
Mrs. Newman. Gosh, it still sounds so funny.
The radio. What do you mean it sounds funny? You know what it sounds to me? The two of us up here all alone on top of a mountain. Your father blowing his top because he couldn't find us in 1,000,000 years. No telephone. Nobody to bother us. Nothing. Maybe this is what I call being alive.
To a boy and a girl, the first hours of their honeymoon seem magic and gloriously alive. But the Highway Patrol worked hard, knowing that a few hours away, Jim Newman and his bride have a rendezvous with death.
$3016 to 2150. $3016 to 2150. $3016 to 2150.
2150 by.
We've got a break. 2245 reports that Justice of the Peace married a sailor and a girl this afternoon at 1530.
Who and where?
The justice is John Lincoln.
It's addressed 400 Main, Shelbyville. And the sailor is Seaman First Class James Newman.
He has their names on the register.
Oh, what about the girl?
She's Betty Jane Martin. I'm trying to get her home address now, and I...
Dispatch 1850 to follow it up.
All right, you check the girl's family. They must know where she is. And if you do find out, meet me at JP's house. Now, what about the baby?
Yeah, we just had a report. The baby's responding to treatment.
Have headquarters get to Dr. Kincaid. Tell him I'll pick him up in about 15 minutes. Tell him to have his serum with him. 10-4?
10-4.
Oh,
yeah, and a dozen eggs.
Oh, yeah. You're new in these parts, aren't you, young fella?
That's right. Well, I guess that's about it.
Fishing?
Pardon?
I said, did you come up to go fishing?
No, just taking it easy. How much do I owe you?
Have you got a place close by?
Up in the mountains. How much did you say?
I didn't say. Or would you like a paper? The buses just brought them up from the city.
No, thanks. Say, would you mind hurrying it up a bit?
$2.40 without the paper.
2, 25, 30, 40, right in the head.
Mm-hmm. Come up today, did you?
That's right, just today.
Well, thank you, young fella. Come back again.
Thanks, I will.
Doctor, I'm not an alarmist, but as Justice of the Peace, I do have things to do. This inoculation you just gave me, there's no chance that it might...
No. You're safe once you've had the shot.
Well, I was just thinking about my calls in the morning. What about the boy and girl? How long before they have to...
Look, Doctor, you said we had 2 hours. Is that right?
That's my best estimate.
In other words, if we don't find them within 2 hours, that's it.
If only I could be more helpful. I remember they said something about a small house on the top of a mountain. I'm sure of that.
And you did have an idea it's not too far from here.
Well, I assume so, Mr. Matthews. Why else would they have chosen me to marry them?
You know, they could have driven further on.
They could, but it isn't usual.
It isn't?
Most young people marry and then want to be alone, not out on a highway motoring.
You've got a point there.
That should be Williams.
Well, where are they? Where's my daughter?
You're Betty Jane's father, is that right?
Yeah, I'm Homer Martin. Where are they?
Don't you know?
He has no idea. They've eloped, run away. Don't you understand? They don't want to be found. They don't want to be found. Here you are, honey. Go to work.
No, sir. It's too early.
But I'm hungry. Well, I got some hot dogs. Why don't I start a fire outside and we'll cook them?
Our first married meal, and I'm not going to have you say it was hot dogs. Here, sit down and read this.
Newspaper? Well, the old guy must have tossed it in, I guess.
Oh, don't you want it?
Are you kidding? Who cares what's going on in the world? I've got my whole world right here.
Look, Mr. Grundy, he was a sailor. Does that help any?
Well, there's been no sailor in here today. I'm sure of that. In fact, nobody in uniform.
He doesn't have to be in uniform, Mr. Grundy.
Well, then how am I going to know he was a sailor?
Mr. Grundy, we don't have to tell you what an epidemic of meningitis means. That's why I inoculated you. Anyone who came anywhere near that boy is in danger.
Look, Mr. Grundy, think. Now, really think. You're the only store within a 12-mile radius. Exactly who was in here after 4 o'clock this afternoon?
I see. Well, if you hear anything at all, just call the operator. She'll know where to find us. Thanks very much.
Any luck?
No, that was the last motel. I checked every cabin for rent within 25 miles.
Any report from the other units?
Well, 2370 phoned in. Negative.
That's a help.
Mr. Matthews.
Yeah, what?
I want to offer a reward.
A reward?
For the return of my daughter.
You want to offer a reward?
I'll give anything to save her life.
Look, Mr. Martin, this is none of my business. I'm just curious, but I got to ask the question. Why do you feel your daughter had to run away from home and get married?
I didn't approve of the marriage.
Did you talk to her about the marriage and about the boy?
Well, no, I didn't.
Right now, she's in love with the guy. You never even took the trouble to find out about him, did you?
I didn't want her to leave home.
That makes you pretty selfish, doesn't it? Because from all reports, she picked herself an awful nice guy. Mr. Martin, we don't want a reward. But you know what you should give? Why don't you give your daughter a little understanding? A little love and kindness.
Say, mister, wait a minute. There was a young feller in here today answering your description all right.
When? What time?
Well, I'd say about 4:30. He said he just arrived.
Did he say where he was staying?
Well, not that I could swear to, no. But he did say he had a cabin up in the mountains. And there ain't many cabins up there.
Well, how many are there?
Well, let's see, there's 1 or 2 up there. Oh, the Taylor boys have a cabin way up on the North Range. But he's away. That's right, he's a lieutenant in the Navy.
What? Look, Mr. Grundy, let's get this straight now. Take it slow. You say there's a cabin up on the North Ridge. It's owned by a guy in the Navy, right?
That's right, his name is Taylor.
That could be it. Jim requested leave from the lieutenant, and he loaned him his place for the honeymoon.
You stand by and keep the line open here. I'm going up there. You stand by too, Doc.
Oh, Mr. Matthews.
Yeah, what?
May I go too?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Hey, you know something? My wife's a great cook.
How do you know? We haven't started eating yet.
Well, I can tell by looking.
Well, as long as you're just looking, young man, why don't you start a fire in the fireplace? It'll be nice later on when it gets dark.
Romantic, huh?
Maybe a little bit. And a great cook.
And no kindling. Oh, never mind. We'll use the newspaper. Hey. Funny, that sounded like a car. DJ, it's your father, look.
No, Jimmy, what'll we do?
See, he was with him, the highway patrol. Listen, honey. We're married, and nobody can change that.
Oh, he can, Jimmy. I know he can.
No, all he can do is spoil our 10 days, and I'll be darned if I'll let him do that. Listen, honey, you with me?
You know I am.
All right, then, come on.
Well, this has to be where they are. It just has to be.
There's Betty Jane's suitcase.
You sure?
There's a car.
What? All right, come on, it's out in the open. Let's go.
Williams at 2150, by?
The kid spotted us. Decided to duck out. They're headed down the mountain in the boy's car. Bring the dock. Meet me at the first fork. I'll try to close in there. 10-4?
10-4. Let's go.
You know, you're going to kill somebody driving like that. What's your hurry? Okay, take it easy. You're going to have to get a shot right away, and you too.
A shot?
Betty Jane, darling, it's all right.
You all set, Doc?
Come here, son. Take off your coat.
Hey, what's going on here anyway?
Come on, Jimmy, you got nothing to worry about. Let me have your coat.
It's all right. And if you love him, I'm glad you married him. I'm sorry I didn't give you the understanding I should have. I want you to know that. And I want Jim to know it, too.
Oh, he's all set for you.
Officer, is Jimmy going to be all right?
Neither one of you have anything to worry about. Here's your coat. Good luck. See you back at headquarters. see Highway Patrol next week. Until then, remember, leave your blood at the Red Cross or your community blood bank, not on the highway. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.